Welcome back to Dylan of Sid Meier's Civilization 4, Colonization, where we continue the conquest of the Americas on max difficulty as the Dutch. Faster. So now I need to think about what to get next. Typically I do like to turn my scouts into dragoons later on in the game, so withdrawal chance might make sense if we want to be able to attack and then pull back if we're not doing enough damage to kill the unit. But I like the idea of just going for veteran and getting access to some more possibilities. Sometimes I like to give the scouts the medic promotions so that I can use them as mobile medics. I'm being careful moving my treasures manually because Colonization has a lot of troops that have Forester 2, or Ranger 2, I mean. That means that they can double move through forest, so I could get attack in this peak if he decided to declare war on me. I'd love to see 3 armed natives right outside my enemy's borders. That's wonderful. If Sitting Bull liked us more, he'd actually consider declaring war on Louis de Frontenac for us, in exchange for some gold, of course. Eventually the French will piss him off so much that they're just going to be much easier to persuade to attack him. Let's see how much Sitting Bull would like to pay for some more guns. He'll give me 1,530 gold in exchange for 100 guns that cost me 700 gold. I'll take that offer. Have fun, Sitting Bull. Oh, the guns are traveling through all the natives. They've got armed braves over here in Teton as well. That is wonderful. I have very little intention of moving all the way up here to the north. There's plenty of land down here that I can take and hold, other than the Tupi potentially being a problem eventually, which they are going to be an issue. There's going to come a point at which the Tupi attack us, because they're at -4 already, for having stolen their land, supposedly. Even though that was the English, that was not us. It's still our fault. We've arrived in Europe with a bunch of goods to sell. Well, not really a bunch, but a reasonable amount, considering the fact that we're more militaristically inclined than anything else. And we've actually got enough gold on hand almost to get the galleon, but let's see how far we are from Peter Minuit first. We'll have him on the next turn, in which case I'll hold off. Keeping the money on hand is a little bit risky. Before I make a decision, I want to take a look at Quebec and see what their defenses are like. They've got 3 dragoons that do not receive defensive bonuses set up. I should be able to punch through those defenses in 1 turn if I have 3 cannons, and they don't have a stockade. The 2 additional cannons I'll need would cost me 1,300 gold, but saving the money to get the galleon, once it is cheaper, would give me a savings of 750 gold once I have Peter Minuit. And then I have almost 5,000 gold in treasures coming very close to my colonies, and that's about 2,500 gold that I would save by having the galleon sooner rather than later. I think what happens here is I wait 1 turn and see if the king asks for money. I'm not going to spend any more of my treasures, I'm just going to wait until I have a galleon to bring them back home. I'm going to switch off of making political points and gamble, because we'll get enough political points from 1 colony building political points to get Minuit, which means I'm going to leave England's Folly making political points. And then Remembrance is going to switch to, I think, a lumber mill. Or actually, let's finish the dock up first. I want to maximize my food production from the ocean. Most of the coastal cities are actually going to be fairly low population and harvesting raw resources, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move much of my industry internally so that it will not really be that exposed to the king's attacks when the War of Independence comes. I've not actually fought a War of Independence in this version of the game, either modified or unmodified, so I'm interested to see how it goes, but leaving these forests will be valuable to make use of ranger soldiers. And here we go. It's time to find out if the king decides to ask us for money since we have so much on hand. Hernan Cortez has offered to join our cause. Unfortunately, he wasn't offered after Peter Minuit, so we have to reject Hernan Cortez. He gives us a free stockade in every settlement. That's not bad, but it's not great. We're going to say no, and we're going to accept Peter Minuit. This is a wonderful -25% cost of recruiting units in Europe. I will absolutely take that. Oh, and he raises our taxes from 6% to 8% already. I guess we're doing a little too well. So now, we should be able to buy the galleon. Indeed we are. With 473 gold left over, I do need to keep some gold on hand, or actually I don't need to keep that much on hand, do I? Want to do more arms trades with the Sitting Bull, or I can go find out where the Spanish are at and trade with the natives nearby them, which would be extra useful since you know how the Spanish are. So let's go sailing north with our caravel and see if we can discover the Spaniards. And we're going to bring back maybe some guns, to be honest. We don't have enough for much of anything else. The galleon goes back immediately, and then I think the merchantman goes back too without anything. It's fine. Sushi City has built their stockade. I'm going to have them switch to building the dock next. Hey, my petty criminal has been seasoned to an expert scout by the Cherokee. Well, I mean the Iroquois, my bad. The Cherokee we're going to be eliminating here pretty soon. Sadly, this particular village will not pay a very high premium for muskets, but let's keep going north. And our first 2,400 worth of treasure is going onto the galleon. In the modified version of the colonization that I like to play, you can actually combine these treasures. As far as I know, you can't do it in the vanilla version, so there we go. And we should only be able to have... oh, we can do more than 2? We can do more than 2, holy crap. Well then, in the modded version you can only do 2. Huh. I guess you can take all 6 cargo spaces full of treasure. I won't do that. I'm going to pull a free colonist out of Gamble, put him into the merchantman. That free colonist is going to get sent down over to England's Folly and replace the missionary that's here, so that the missionary can go off and do what he's actually supposed to do. With that scout now seasoned, I'm actually going to head back down south to try to take this ancient ruin here, so that the French can't get it. And then back in Europe, I'm going to spend the money that I have saved up, which is almost $1,400. We're going to buy some cannons. So I'll buy that cannon, and then I'll buy another cannon. That leaves us with 424 gold, and I'll just keep that gold on hand for now. With the construction of the dock and Gamble, what I'm going to build next, I think, might be a church. There's pretty good odds that we'll eventually get a firebrand preacher, and having a place for him to go would be nice. Could also go with a schoolhouse, however. I don't need that many expert fishermen though. I think let's go with building a church. With the missionary loaded up in England's Folly, we're going to go on a little adventure towards the west. My objective is to dump the missionary over here somewhere, so that it doesn't take him forever to get to Korihoe Rachina. I could sail completely around the coast, which is something I'll think about when I get there. That'll delay us shipping back some goods to Europe, but I don't think it's that important. But that also does delay how fast we can get those cannons back home from Europe. But the galleon can bring them back too, now that I think about it. So we should be alright. We just need to go ahead and pick up this final treasure that is nearby our lands, and we'll sail on back. Actually, there's some more treasures over here. Forgot about that. And we should have space for one more. But I think it's better for us to go ahead and head back, pick up the treasures, pick up a couple more soldiers, come back, rush the Cherokee, and then sail north, and then attack Quebec. Of course, by the time we bring down the Cherokee, there's probably a pretty good chance that they'll have set up a stockade, but we can just bombard it down, which is a nice bonus of the civilization engine, so you can get rid of defensive bonuses. And the French haven't gotten this ancient ruin yet. The AI does not prioritize exploration nearly as much as it should. That is 168 gold that the French will never see. Pedro Alvarez Cabral just joined Louis de Frontenac. I probably crucified both of those names. But since he joined the French, that means that the French are going to be way behind in terms of political points for other founding fathers. That does tell me that the French are working on generating political points in the first place though. So now we need to keep them in mind as competition for founding fathers in the future. I'm going to go ahead and make this scout a medic scout. With the construction of a dock in remembrance, I think what I'd like to do here is switch to the production of a warehouse or maybe a schoolhouse, because there's a carpenter here and I will need carpenters in the future. Let's build a schoolhouse, and then we'll sell the treasures off to the Netherlands. We should have enough gold on hand here pretty soon to get another set of muskets for the caravel, so we'll send the caravel back to Europe immediately. This is going to cost us about 4 more turns to get over there. If I drop the missionary off here, it'll take about 4 turns to reach the village over here. So I can trade 4 turns of ship time for 4 times of colonist time. Or I can get him off the boat right now. Get off my boat. You can walk the rest of the way, missionary. You're a dedicated man. This scout right here is going to finish up searching over here, because that's fairly close to the French. They're fairly likely to explore this area and not too long, whereas this area will be mostly unexplored by them. After we search up here, we're going to probably swing down and then finish our exploration over here. And this scout will search this area over here. Surprisingly, we haven't found the Spanish yet. The French are down here for some reason, checking the place out. Let's load up our cannons. Let's pick up the indentured servant. Before we get out of the screen and risk the king asking us for money, let's spend our money. So we got a soldier indentured servant. Let's pick up another full load of guns, I think, without buying a colonist. That'll get us 2 more soldiers. I could go ahead and pick up the weaver. He would be able to make pretty expensive cloth out of the cotton that we're producing in one of our colonies. Let's pick up the weaver. There's a master distiller, but we don't have access to very much sugar. I think let's go ahead and pick up a fisherman. Oh, well, we don't need hardy pioneers quite yet. We need to wipe out the natives first. We have plenty of gold on hand, so I think it's time that we increase our shipping lanes. Privateer would be wonderful. Let's buy a privateer. The privateer is going to go harass the French and the Spanish before we attack the Spanish, of course. And then, what else should we buy? Buy some more cannons. They're up to 600 gold. Do they increase in price more? They do, very slightly. So some more cannons. That's as many cannons as we can buy, but we can buy another citizen if we'd like to do so. I think we do not want to do so. We want to keep gold on hand for the caravel so that we can buy some more muskets to sell. So privateer goes back empty. The galleon goes back with all these people. We could pick up them with cannons, but we don't need the cannons immediately. We'll have plenty of cannons on hand to deal with the natives. We'll bring the cannons back later so that we can attack the French. Our merchantman is going to pick up the goods from Jamestown that it can hold, sail over to Sushi City, pick up some more of that food, and continue basically condensing down our goods so that we can pop another citizen here pretty quick. So off he goes towards England Folly, and we should be able to pop maybe even 2 more citizens in not too long. I'd say that food production is possibly better in the remake than in the original, but I'm not sure if I really want to make that statement. We're at turn 53 out of 300 to declare independence. If we knock down France and Spain, we should be able to stall as long as we want. In Jamestown, we finished the stockade, so I'm going to have them start working on political points. We have no access to political points without generating Liberty Bells, and generating Liberty Bells causes the expeditionary force to grow faster pretty rapidly. With the dock done in Sushi City, we're also going to have them switch over to political point creation. We are actually going to get enough food to generate 2 citizens in remembrance, so those citizens are going to become soldiers primarily. In Europe, we need to go ahead and load up on some muskets and send them right off. Sushi City's fishermen, instead of doing the swap back and forth for hammer production, is just going to go into the water and stay in the water. I think it's more valuable that he do that. There aren't that many good founding fathers left in the early game here that are like super critical. Some of them are good obviously, but not a whole lot of them. Our vessels have arrived in remembrance. We're going to assign the master weaver to making cloth temporarily. That will burn through our cotton pretty fast, so I'll have to switch him around to doing other things from time to time. The fishermen are going to keep on board and then send that down to, I think, England's Folly to work the crabs right here. But these soldiers are going to stay in the area along with the cannons. I want to set up a strike force against Chota, and I've got enough of a strike force dug in England to deal with Kituwa. We need to move the strike force up to Gamble, put them on the hill, and then attack from there. The natives have bonuses attacking into light forest, marsh, jungle, etc. But the hill will definitely give us more defensive bonus no matter what. So the fisherman gets moved from the galleon to the merchantman, and then we load up our troops onto the galleon. Galleon goes north, merchantman goes south. Taxes up to 10% already. That's a little bit painful. The growth of a free colonist in remembrance causes me to equip him, if I can activate him, with some guns. And he too shall get onto the boat. The boat goes north to Gamble. Everybody gets off the boat. All additional soldiers move onto the hill. The dude that already moved will have to wait until the next turn, but that's okay. Then the galleon goes on and does his thing. Moves some goods around, goes to grab some treasures, and then heads back to Europe. These scores, by the way, are mainly based around the founding fathers that you have. They're not based nearly as much on, say, land or number of citizens that you have. In fact, mine is based entirely on land, founding fathers, and negative from tax rate. We're going to establish our first mission here in Korihoe, Rachina. 100% chance of success. If you fail to found a mission, you can upset the native leader. So you should be careful about that. And you should ideally only use like experts to found missions, because you risk upsetting the people, of course. Reevaluating my situation, I've realized that I don't have a soldier set up in England's Folly. I just have a cannon and a dragoon. The dragoon doesn't receive defensive bonuses, so I'd rather bring back the galleon real quick and then put that soldier back on to the ship. I didn't even have to move the galleon down there, I just realized that's okay. And then once I've got the soldiers set up in England's Folly, then I'm going to begin the war. It looks like there might be an island over here. This might be where the Spanish are at. Nah, they're not over here. Our privateer is in position to harass the French as they go back and forth. They should not have a very powerful ship at the moment. The French still do not have a stockade built in Quebec. They're down to 3 dragoons defending it. Our scout continues to gain even more experience from talking to the natives. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade him with Grenadier. He'll be a medic dragoon. Our first victim. Now I can choose to attack him right now, or I can let him go into the colony, pick something up, come out, and then sink him on the way back. That would allow me to get some goods, but I would have to then come back and offload those goods, and during that time they'll have another ship come. I think I'd rather just sink him right now. So, let's sink him. Yes, I do have to heal, that is true. Well, we'll go ahead and head back. We'll call it a victory. Oh, we got some horses actually. He had something on there. Only 8. Interesting. I'll take some horses, absolutely. Soldier is in position, fortifying up. It is now time to begin the war. First one going in is going to be a cannon with 99.9% odds of success. No, damn it. I have to declare war first. Oh, I guess it'll be next turn then. I don't want them to get out of their village if I can help it. The moment they get into the forest, they're much harder to kill. With the construction of a schoolhouse in remembrance, now we need to think about what else we'd like to do. Building a lumber mill wouldn't be a bad idea so that we can eventually start building ships here, but we would have to bring some tools from Europe. Alternatively, we could work towards the college and educate our citizens faster. Let's build a warehouse first, maybe? Yeah, let's build a warehouse first. Remembrance is going to be the primary shipping port. And now our king is asking us for some money. I could pay the gold, and that'll slow down his tax increases, or I could refuse to pay, and that'll make his tax increases probably faster. I think I'll just pay the gold. It's not a whole lot of money. That's one of the reasons it's a good idea to not float a lot of cash. Otherwise, your majesty will ask for it. He'll often ask no matter what, and then you have to only give him like 30 bucks, and it still keeps him happy. The issue with swapping back and forth with lumber is that sometimes you can run out of lumber and then not realize you've run out of lumber. I don't know if I missed return of production or not just now. Alright, wartime. Donostota, it's time for you to perish. First in, take the shot, sustained almost no damage whatsoever. Now this dragoon has a 95.6% chance of success and a 1.2% chance of retreat, which means that he'll basically win 96.9% of the time. This means that he'll die about once every 32 battles. Based on those odds, I think that's worth taking. Oh my god, he actually died. Holy crap. Wow. Of course. Yeah, attacking with anything other than a cannon is rough. Let's give our privateer some extra movement range so that he can search for people faster and he can come home and repair faster as well. There are 4 natives in Kituwa. He might attack with all of them on England's Folly, but the soldier is dug in a little bit in England's Folly, and he has 50% defensive bonus as well. Attacking would probably be suicide, but he might actually try it. Probably should have left the dragoon there, but let's go ahead and let's hit Chota and take absolutely no damage whatsoever. Second bombard is easy peasy. We've met the Aztecs. They're up north somewhere by the Spaniards probably. So now we pray that England's Folly does not get burned down in this fight. Looks like he's not going to attempt it. Nope. The odds are too great. His units are free to move around my land. I have not improved anything. There's nothing for him to burn down, so I'm not at risk of actually losing anything, and I barely make use of the land. Alright, it looks like there are no more defenders left in Chota. After this defender, Chota should get burned down, and then I'll be able to move my stack onto Chota, or simply separate out a soldier to guard the cannon that moves here, and keep a soldier behind to guard the cannon that's healing. So here we go. Took him out easy. And down goes the first one. We got how much loot? We only got 90 gold from that settlement. Wow. It's something. Just 2 more settlements to take out. Where the hell are the Spanish at? This is tundra up here. I have no idea where they landed. I haven't seen the English in forever either. Oh, they found one of my treasures. Oh, damn. Tupi declared war on me. That is unfortunate. We need to bring back our cannons immediately. We'll pick up the Party Pioneer. Put him on the ship. Pick up some more cannons, actually. We need that more than anything else. Send the merchantman on back. Yeah, Tupi declared war on me. Good thing I had soldiers in Jamestown and Sushi City. Jamestown we need to rename. Let's call it Beaverton, since there's some beavers nearby. Now, Scoopy doing their thing, bringing treasures down is extremely risky, so I need to stop bringing them down, just concentrate them in a safe area, and then wait until I deal with the Cherokee. Once I've dealt with the Cherokee, I can bring the treasures down through the north. Here the Spanish are at. Ooh, they're next to the Aztecs. Let's grab this burial ground real quick. That gave us some pretty good knowledge, actually. Tlatelolco is right here. Or maybe it's Tlatelolco. The galleon has arrived to sell a bunch of goods and some treasures. We got 2.6 thousand gold. I think I'd like to get the fur trader. I'm not sure about that, though. Let's grab the fur trader. And then let's grab the petty criminal to be a soldier. And the Jesuit missionary. I'll take those. We have 855 treasure on hand. All gold. Gonna need a farmer here pretty soon. Let's pick up a farmer and we'll set off. We've met the Spanish and we're gonna sell guns to their neighbors. This treasure is only worth 99 gold. I'm just gonna send it back as is. I don't see the point in wasting a cargo slot on this. Our army is going to rest and repair for one more turn in place just to get the cannon at full strength. They're going to march north, take out Great Hawassi. Hey, the Spanish have declared war on Montezuma. That was a mistake, Spain. That was a big mistake. They're in need of horses. That's just too bad. What we're going to do is we're going to accept that we're not going to make a ton of money from the natives here. Well, extra money. And we're just going to sell them the guns that we have on hand for a decent amount. And then just casually leave. Enjoy, Spain. My treasures, I'm setting up on this peak here so they have good vision of the east through the south, so that we can see anybody coming from that direction and run away. We built a warehouse in remembrance. I don't need much else built here besides a better education facility, I think. Although I could work towards a lumber mill. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's build a lumber mill. We'll just have to ship some tools back from Europe. And we've got a bunch of canyons to drop off just southwest of Kittiwah. And Kittiwah will burn this turn. Final defender. Goodbye. And she burns. Hey, we actually got a converted native out of that. Very nice. Converted native I'm going to send north to Remembrance to become a lumberjack. I want that weaver doing other things. And we got 230 gold from that. I do not believe that's worth sending back, but it might be, if we have extra cargo slots on hand. Hardy Pioneer can't really do his job at the moment, although I could send him to start building up the farm here. Let's do that. We do have an expert farmer on the way back, after all. So building improvements in this game does not cost tools in the remake, it costs money. This is going to cost us 20 gold to build a farm right here. I'll have to keep an eye on the surrounding area. This native does not have Forester, well, Ranger 2, so he can't double move, so we're safe from the native for now. All these other cannons, we're going to pick them up, ship them over to Sushi City, going to burn down Taubate. And our caravel sells back home to buy some more muskets to supply the Aztecs. Isn't it wonderful being an arms dealer? And the privateer lies in wait, seeking more victims. I actually kind of need even more shipping lanes, now that I think about it. I do need to keep 700 gold on hand in order to buy muskets. A caravel might not be a terrible idea. I think we're just going to accept it. We'll have a ship back in not too long in the form of the galleon. If the king asks us for money, I guess we'll have to accept it, or buy a lumberjack. If the king asks us for money, we won't have enough money for guns. So let's just leave it as it is. With the church built in Gamble, we're going to switch over to probably just political points. Let's do that. We could get Gonzalo Jimenez de Quesada. He reveals all tiles of burial grounds and all tiles of ancient ruins. I don't care to know ahead of time. I'd rather just find out, and I don't want to waste political points on this guy. We could get Bartolome de las Casas, plus 50% native conversion rate for missions. It's not bad. We do have a second missionary that we're about to run west towards Inca. Let's take a look at our other options. Juan de Sepulveda gives us 2 converted natives. That is a awful founding father to select. Vasco Nunez de Balboa, plus 25% defense at all settlements. It's not bad. I haven't yet looked into what they want to defend or attack in the revolution, but I would say that chances are that we're going to want to attack. So he's not that valuable, and we are more offensive than defensive after all. So I would mark him off as well. Giovanni for Caravel, I don't care about. That's a ridiculous founding father. A lot of these founding fathers are lackluster in the remake as well, I will admit. Juan de Bermudez, he's alright. 3 Jesuit missionaries would be pretty nice with Thomas Hooker to also combine with Bartolome. William Brewster is of course silly, we don't pay for land. John Rolfe plus 25% tobacco doesn't matter, we have tons of tobacco. John Winthrop is not that impressive, but we do have quite a few colonies, so the crosses could add up. Pocahontas we don't really care for, and this is a lot of political points to get him. I think it's going to be a while, and we won't have much competition for Founding Fathers, so we're going to go ahead and accept by Ptolemy. And taxes up to 13% already, very nice. Interestingly enough, the Aztecs are asking us to declare war on the Spanish. I don't think I want to agree to this right now. It's not like they're going to declare war on us, they'll have no reason to, they'll just be a little more upset with us. So now is not the time. We'll choose our sides later on, Aztecs. I wish it could be like, hey, we'll do it later, but not right now. The Spanish got Tlatelolco. They may have lost all those guns, but I guess that's fine. We'll just sell some more guns over in Tlaxcala. They actually do want to pay a premium for guns. Hopefully that'll allow the Aztec to form a strong line against the Spanish expansion westwards. Oh man, I never offloaded the horses in my privateer. Whoops. Yeah, alright, so the galleon's going to come in. We're going to offload the farmer here. Have him work the food because he gets some extra food from the bonus resources. So he makes 11 food per turn. That's very good. The fur trader we're probably going to send up to Remembrance. I think we'll be able to safely send him through the forest up to Remembrance. The petty criminal's going to get off the ship. We'll have to make him a soldier eventually, most likely. And the Jesuit missionary are probably going to put onto the merchantman and sail him closer to the Inca, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I believe that the north will be clear pretty soon, so I'm going to start moving my treasures this direction east, and it should be clear. We'll find out. This is a lot of gold to potentially lose. Strike Force is in position to hit Great Hawassi. We've got 99.9% odds we will not lose this fight unless something crazy happens. And he's dead. Good job. Next one should be an easy kill too, and indeed it is. Once this village is gone, the Cherokee should be eliminated at that point. Number 3 is dead. With the converted native having arrived in Remembrance, they can now have a dedicated lumberjack, at least temporarily. And the weaver is able to do his job in the weaving shop without having to do lumberjacking. And this should be the end of the Cherokee. Village burned down, and Cherokee defeated. Very good. Got ourselves a converted native as well. This is the Sioux people, Sitting Bull. They're not a war for us, so I don't have to worry about them. From that village, we received only 171 gold. Terrible. I think the amount of gold that you get from villages is kind of based on difficulty. I can't drop the missionary off over here and then let him cross the land because the Tupi are here and he'll probably get killed. So I must sail the merchantman up to right here, drop him off, and then hopefully he'll be able to make it to Cusco. To kill the Tupi, we're just going to have to wipe out, I think, 2 villages, it looks like. 3 villages. There's one in Taubate, one in Sayara, and one in Para. The arms trade continues as we pick up some more guns to put on the caravel to sell to the Aztecs. I'm probably going to drop off the seasoned scout in not too long when I come over here so that I can load more guns and sell them faster. So the Spanish got Hernan Cortez. They automatically get stockades in their colonies now, so we have to be a little bit concerned about that when we attack them. All that effectively does is slow us down a bit though. And our set of 4 cannons is going to jump off the galleon because the galleon does not have enough movement left to make it into the port, and get ready to siege the first Tupi village. I'm going to save up a little bit more money and then buy another merchantman at 1500 gold. This merchantman will help to move goods around. It will also help specifically to ship people back and forth over to the Incan area so that I can learn tobacco planting, cotton planting, that kind of thing. There is a French caravel in Quebec now, so we're going to wait for him to come out. There is literally no escape. Hello there, caravel. Oh crap, dude. Tenochtitlan already fell to the Spanish. They're aggressive, man. They really are. I need to get more guns to the Aztecs ASAP. And hello, French caravel. We have about a 1 in 20 chance of a loss, but it looks like we're not going to take any damage at all, pretty much. Got him. 24 coats. Not worth a whole lot. We'll bring that on home. And Taubate will be dead this turn. Actually, I can't finish Taubate this turn because there's a native right here. If I attack and I destroy the settlement, the cannon will move on to the tile, and then he'll get killed. So the best I can do is reduce them to 1 defender. But that's okay. The missionary's gonna get off the ship right here, and hopefully he'll be safe nor far enough from the Tupi. And I have the gold now to buy that merchantman. I'm definitely gonna take care of that right now. He'll get sent back with nothing else on the ship, or let's bring some tools actually. Alright, the native Tupi is no longer near the settlement here, and he doesn't have double movement through forest. We are clear to bring down Taubate. And we succeeded. The growth of a colonist in Sushi City is going to make me move him over to Beaverton, and I'm going to swap him out with the Hardy Pioneer. So the Hardy Pioneer no longer needs to be working. Well, I would if I could. Sometimes you can put them in the city after moving them. Sometimes you can for some reason. I'm not sure what the difference is. England's Folly has grown as well. Thanks so much for watching Dealing With It. I'd really like to hear any feedback you have about the video in the comments below. If you like the video, leaving a like would help the video to reach other people that might also enjoy the video. If you'd like to see more, you can always subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one in episode 4.